kinds of gunshots.
Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome back to Kick Up Flicks. My name is Chris D, and I hope you are having a fantastic day today. So, I saw The Wheel of Time off of Amazon Prime, and I finally got to see it. I've been waiting to see it, but I did not realize it was a complex story. And this season, though it couldn't cover every single inch of this complex story, it is introducing you into this fantasy fiction realm to potentially get you to go read the books, which there's 12 of them. I don't know how long they are. I haven't read any of them. I didn't know anything about it. So we're going to take the perspective that I don't know anything about the text. So going strictly off this series, it is directed by a woman, and I know I'm saying it very specifically because I guess at the time this was being made, Game of Thrones was around, and people were trying to compare it to Game of Thrones, who was directed by a man. But the director's name is Uta Bresowitz, and she did, and along with three other directors, they did a very good job directing this series. It was tender to. There was care, the costumes, the CGI. It was all done with care. There were a few things that I necessarily didn't agree with, or not so much I didn't agree with, I just didn't understand what they were trying to do. What I mean by that is that they didn't explain like exactly what the Wheel of Time is and how it got tainted, and there was no instruction on to watch some of the 1 minute, origin stories before you get to the actual season, so you could actually understand exactly what's going on. They tried to explain it during the series, but you're still kind of having that distance of loss, but they did very good with the tension. And you have this main character, Moiraine, who is a Sadai from the White Tower, who's on this kind of like self-appointed journey to go find the dragon. And the dragon is a person that is born with great power that has the ability to defeat the Dark One, or the dragon has the ability to go and destroy the earth again, which is what the first one did. And now the second one is whoever can get their hands on the dragon first could potentially sway the tide of the Dark One, or destroy the Dark One, or at least lock him up for another 3,000 years, because the dragon needs the Dark One in some form or fashion to spread his power of destruction and armies and all this other good stuff. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Lord of the Rings type deal, but at the same time, it's really not. And I actually kind of like it. Men also have the power of the source of the light, or from the Wheel of Time. But when they get madness. Meaning that they start to hear voices and people talking to them to tell them to go kill. And then they're also really powerful. But the women are powerful themselves too, but they kind of stay in groups or they go out by themselves. It all really depends on what their job is. They have healing, history, they have kind of like spies in a way. But one thing that was very prominent in this world is that no one really trusted the Sadais. And though this is a world about how women are in charge, no one trusted them. So it was kind of like, do they not trust them because they don't believe in what the Sadai believe in, as in the Dark One will come again? Do they not believe it? I mean, there are armies set at walls that they have fought these Dark One armies before. But what about the regular people? There are some people so removed from the world that they don't even know what's happening. I mean, they throw a lot at you in this season. And that's primarily where I kind of got confused at, which they threw so much at you throughout the whole entire season. And they want you to kind of grasp the great deals of what 1,000 years ago looked like, what 3,000 years ago looked like, how powerful and strong the Dark One is. And still there's drama and political, powers in the White Tower where all the Sadai live, and who's going to be the next in line and who trumps who and things like that. At the same exact time, you got Moiraine trying to go find the one dragon, but ends up finding a total of 5 potentials. She can't differentiate who is the actual one, but they're all intertwined in some kind of way. Another thing where I kind of wish they expanded more on in the season is the different types of people and powers. It wasn't just the light that the Sadais have that they had control of even at night, but it was the simple fact of the matter is you had people who can look and see your future. You had different races. Where did they come from? What kind of magic? How do you create these portals? There's just so many questions that they didn't answer or they just didn't expand upon. Kind of anything. They're just kind of put there and you're just supposed to go along with it. On another point though, what they did do good was the 4 characters or the 5 characters that could be the dragon really did a very good job caring for each and every single one. They each had their own story. They each had their own goal. And that's what I really like about the whole entire season. If you were to go on Amazon Prime and kind of look at like the biography of each character, I think they land each character pretty much on point. And that's what I respect about this whole entire series. I would actually watch a season 2. Now, the fact that it was $80 million and it was $10 million an episode, that was a little much for me. But I hope they work on the story a little bit because for me, in my opinion, I think they landed the costume, they landed the CGI, they landed the tension, the writing. It keeps you engaged. I think they landed that part. I just wish they would expand upon more aspects of why people are there or how this big pot of knowledge and how everything works, right? I just want to know why it works. And spoiler alert at this point, just letting you know real quick, at the end of the episode, you find out that they were a highly advanced civilization. Where did all the buildings and all the technology go? Where did all the books and writings? I mean, was everything digitalized and got destroyed? I mean, how is there no remnants of 3,000 years ago? You can't take steel and make it disappear in 3,000 years. Maybe you can. But at the same time, I know a lot of people got wiped out 3,000 years ago. But you're not saying every single living individual got locked out. Not every single person that was knowledgeable of that technology. And then it took them 3,000 years just for them to stay at the Stone Ages, which again doesn't make sense on advancement unless they specifically wanted to be there. And the people in charge is the White Tower. So that is food for thought. So if you have seen or are going to go see this series, please let me know down in the comments. And if you like what I do, please let me know down in the comments. And thank you so much for being here for this long. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button because it does help me out with that YouTube algorithm. And there's a bell notification to hit for every time I post a video and you won't miss one. And don't forget to kick up and not down, and I'll see you the next time I post a video.